You got that chunk of copper? It looks like gold.
No, it doesn't. It looks like
Yes,
copper.
it does.
What kind of gold do you buy?
You got any gold we can put on here?
Not with
All right,
me.
then we're putting copper.
We could put chrome 22s on there.
That'd be pretty big.
You know what they say about 22s?
Yeah, a couple.
You can't lose.
2021. We're getting a lot of questions from people saying, "Are you ever going to have something less expensive?" Cheaper is the typical term.
That's a fair question.
Yeah. You know, we get that all the time, but it's been building lately. And, you know, so we figure, what the hell, let's talk about it. And we did like a year ago when we started this channel, YouTube channel. And it's time to just kind of, now we got better digs here.
Freshen it up, revisit it.
Yeah, let's talk about it for those who have just joined us.
Cheaper headphones, it's a little known secret, but as it turns out, high price tends to mean fairly low volume. So it intrinsically limits your audience right there. Of course, they have to be able to physically afford it. Doesn't matter how good it is. It's the case with anything, right? And as a designer, I would think most people would agree that getting your product out to more people tends to be favorable. You would usually want to ship more rather than less.
How many Bugattis does Bugatti sell in a year, do you know?
It's not a lot. I know they didn't even sell all the ones they had initially intended to.
They did it?
In the original Veyron.
They didn't sell all of them?
I don't think so.
That's kind of surprising.
Yeah, because they had like, we got 4 left or something.
Yeah. Out of what, 10 maybe?
But it took them like 10 years too.
Oh, jeez. People moved on by then.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that is an issue.
It was only a couple hundred.
It's such low volume that.
Yeah, it was only a couple hundred.
Yeah. In 10 years?
Yeah.
Oh, so we're talking 30, 40 cars.
Yeah, your $3 million car range.
Right. So, yeah. So, I mean, that kind of shows where, but yet they're making money. They're still around. No. Oh, they're losing money.
Yeah.
Oh, that's bad.
Well, they're owned by Volkswagen. So.
Oh, well, geez. Well, then they got other issues.
It's a different thing.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Who knows what they're doing there then?
It's a prestige brand.
Yeah.
You know?
It's usually actually much more difficult to make money in the ultra high end than it is in the low and the mid range comparatively.
Especially making cars, like the crazy detail they deal with.
Yeah.
You got carbon fiber part. There's so many parts, components.
You're pushing the bounds of everything.
Yeah, right. That's got to be crazy
expensive.
You know, to do.
And everything's custom.
Yeah.
You can't use like, when you start talking like multi-million-dollar vehicles, you're not using indicator stocks from a, normal production car.
Right.
You know?
And if you spend $100,000 developing one button that gets used in 50 cars, you can't spread that across a million, tens of million car production.
Yeah, the payback on that is
right. It's really difficult.
Yeah.
So you really can't spend 3 years making everything super exotic.
And you can't really scale it.
You can't just use something from a Camry.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you could, but everybody that's buying it would be like, "What's this?"
You got to find the right middle ground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, therein lies the issue. Where we're kind of similar. We're kind of like the Bugatti of headphones, so to speak. At least some have said that, and it's true. And that it's obviously we're not making automobiles, and we don't have that kind of component count.
Yeah.
But it's kind of a similar concept where every part matters to us, and we optimize and build it and machine it and build it in house, and as much as we can, and that's expensive. Now to ask us to change it up and say, okay, let's make something that's way less expensive, like a third the price of what we have now, like $1,000, requires completely different processes, right?
It's almost a different company, right? It's basically like telling Ferrari, why don't you just make a $40,000 car?
Oh, people do that all the time.
It's not that they couldn't.
Right.
It's like, I'd buy one.
Wishful thinking.
It probably would be worse than a
I'd buy
$40,000 car from competitors.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to make very cheap and very expensive products that are extremely competitive in the market because you're really building totally different platforms. It's a totally different system. If you're known for very high end, there's a reason for that. It's because you probably have good quality, good performance, whatever. And to scale that down into a lower price point, it's of course very difficult.
Yeah, because something's got to suffer.
Always does, right?
And I mean, I guess if you're paying less, you expect to get less, but maybe not so much.
Well, yeah, not always.
At what point is like the brand abyss, right? Let's look at the brand, the name itself. People associate it with the best. And now all of a sudden you're making stuff that's, okay, it's still maybe better than
stuff in its class.
Other stuff, right?
Yeah.
But at what point is that a positive? Or,
Yeah.
It's great for people that are looking for something that price. I get that. They'd love to have an Abyss at $1,000.
Of course.
Who wouldn't? But obviously, for us as a manufacturer, it's stuff would be, like you said, you'd have to change the way we do everything. The parts would have to be, we can't spend 2.5 hours machining the parts for a Diana. They can't spend that kind of machine time, maybe 20 minutes, not 2.5 hours. So,
Well, realistically, it probably couldn't be machined. It definitely couldn't be a ceramic coated part like that.
yeah.
It would have to be most likely a totally different manufacturing process. It would have to be injection molded parts and whatnot,
Right.
similar to what other people are doing. And that's not to say that we can't do it, we don't want to do it, or we're unwilling. Of course, we would love to do that. It's just,
Maybe one day we will.
it's not where we are right now. We don't intend on doing that in the near term, but I think we could all agree that we would like to arrive there at some point. That's the eventual goal, because it's not like a
could.
$1,000 or $2,000 headphone is cheap.
Right.
Like you could make a really great headphone in that price range,
Sure.
but everything's got to be dialed in just right. Because as you move to higher volume, you intrinsically also have higher risks
As a company.
as a company. Yeah.
Well, not only that, think of all of a sudden now you need a service department.
Of course. Yeah.
You
All
got-
the
you,
things.
You start, let's say you multiply your sales by tenfold. Customer service, emails, issues, questions.
Thousands
Somebody's
a
got to
day, yeah.
answer all those questions, right?
Right.
So now that requires skilled people that know what they're talking about. Because I mean, currently we're already doing emails all day long. So how do you multiply that times 10 and actually get, and maintain the response and I mean,
It's challenging.
it's not just making the headphone; it's everything around it. Everything around it.
And while still maintaining the current line too.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah,
We
and-
pretty much have to not make a lot of the parts because we couldn't
No, we couldn't make it.
make both
Yeah.
at the same time.
Well, we could. We just now that's the
Yeah,
other
that's
issue.
a-
You need to
I mean, you
hire.
could.
You need to hire more people for assembly.
yeah.
You know, it's not daunting. It's just not who we are right now.
Right.
It's not where we want to be right now. Well, like you said, one day maybe.
Yeah, I think we'd like to get there. It's just we want to scale up slow and controlled. So we ensure that the process remains as good as it could get, really. We want to make sure we're shipping good stuff. We don't just want to rush to market with something cheap to grab a few
Yeah,
bucks.
no, that would just ruin the brand. Right?
Right.
That would make
That's not
us
the
look
point.
bad. Yeah, and that's not what we want to do. Absolutely not. Not only that, there's a lot of options in that price range. If you look at the $1,000 range,
Well, yeah.
there's guys making nice stuff down there, and so that's where they are, and there's product that exists there, and it's pretty good, So, do we need to be there right now? I don't know. I don't think so. I
Yeah,
think,
it's not like there's no options. Yeah.
right. Yeah, it's not like there's a void there.
They every price point is covered.
Yeah, right. We just happen to be in the upper end of it. Not to be negative on the idea. We trust me, we think about it all the time, right?
I think it'd be great.
Yeah, but
It's just
It's like I can't see doing
it's
it.
really risky to do it right now.
yeah.
You need to hire a whole bunch of people because inevitably demand will be way higher.
The logistics of it is
It's
what
really challenging to
really
implement.
gets to you at this point.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of logistics. That's bottom line, and it's right from the production side of it through sales and service. It requires more people,
A lot more people.
Yeah. Yeah. Or you just make something that's stamped out in China and you just get a truckload of boxes and you just, that's how you deal with
Yeah,
it
that's
too.
another route. Yeah.
Which is, again, it's not who we are. So that's not what we want to do. It's not the direction we want to go in. So, but we'll see, we'll see. You never know.
But I guess at least for now, we're just focused on the stuff we currently have, and that's keeping us busy as is.
Yeah, very.
So
Very, and that's cool. And the customers are very happy with the product.
well, I guess for the time being, we're just committed to our current lineup. It's keeping us busy,
Yeah.
and we'll see what happens in the future.
Play it by ear,
Yeah,
literally.
I suppose so.
Yeah.
Okay.
And as a reminder, this video was created because several people asked us about it. So if any of you out there have any questions you'd like us to answer in a future episode, let us know in the comments below. And if we feel the need, if we feel enough people interested in it, we'll make a video on it. So until next time, take care, guys.
Take care, everyone.
I gotta look up those Bugatti numbers.